How's it going? Dave here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking all about sixths. They're a really beautiful interval that you can integrate into your solos. I'm going to show you how to find them on the fretboard, when to use them, and then I've got 3 different licks that you can learn that will give you some inspiration. There's also a backing track you can download along with tabs in the description at my Patreon page, so if you want to do so, head there and you can grab everything. So let's get started. If you don't know what sixths are, they are basically, if we're playing a scale, for example, A major, which is the one we'll be using today, we'll have our A note, and the sixth of our A would be 6 notes higher than that in the scale. So if we count 1 from the A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would be our sixth. And that's F sharp. We have a sixth there. And we could do it with all the rest of the notes in our scale. We'll do the next one. The next note's B. If we count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we get G sharp. So G sharp is the sixth for B. Now there's 2 types of sixth, the major sixth and the minor sixth. There's only a fret difference between each interval. The major sixth sounds like the first 2 notes of My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. My Bonnie lies, yeah. And then you have a minor sixth, which sounds a little bit darker, like that. So we are using the A major scale. I'm going to show you how to find them on the fretboard, plus a cool hack you can use. So on the low E string and the D string, these are the 6th intervals that appear. So we've got 5th fret of the low E and the 4th fret of the D string. 5 and 4. Then we've got 7 and 6. Then we've got 9 and 7. Then we've got 11 and 9. Then we've got 12 and 11. Then we've got 2 and open. Then we've got 4 and 2. And then we've got 5 and 4 again. Those are the 6th intervals in the key of A major on the low E and D strings. Let's figure out how to play the ones on the A and G strings. Now, this is easier to work out if you know your E-shaped bar chord. All we do is we play all the chords in our key. So we've got A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D major, E major, F sharp minor, G sharp diminished, and we've got A major again. And all we do is take the notes that are on the A and G strings in those particular chords, and we have our 6th intervals. So if we take our A major chord, we've got 7 on the A string and 6 on the G string. Then if we take our B minor chord, we've got the 9th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the G string. Then our C sharp minor chord, we've got the 11th fret of the A string and the 9th fret of our G string. Then for our D major chord, we've got the 12th fret of the A string and the 11th fret of the G string. Then for the E major chord, we've got 2nd fret of the A string, 1st fret of the G string. Then for the F sharp minor chord, we've got the 4th fret of the A string and 2nd fret of the G string. And then for the G sharp diminished, which if you don't know how to play it is 4, 5, 6, 4. We've got the 5th fret of the A string and the 4th fret of the G string. Now if we move on to our A-shaped bar chords, all we do is take the notes on the D and B strings and play those, and they're our 6th intervals. So we've got 2 and 2 for our A major chord, 2 on the D, 2 on the B. Then we've got a B minor chord, so we play 4 on the D and 3 on the B. C sharp minor, we've got 6 on the D and 5 on the B. D major, we've got 7 on the D, 7 on the B. E major, we've got 9 on the D, 9 on the B. F sharp minor, we've got 11 on the D, 10 on the B. G sharp diminished, we've got 12 on the D and 12 on the B. And then we can use our D-shaped bar chords to find out what the 6th intervals on the G and E strings are. So let's do that. So we've got A major, so it's like this, 7, 9, 10, 9. If you don't know your caged system, you might not know how to make a D-shaped chord, but don't worry. We're playing 9 and 9 on the G and E strings. Then we've got B minor, like this, so that gives us 11 on the G and 10 on the high E. Then we've got C sharp minor, which gives us 13 on the G and 12 on the high E. You could also do 1 on the G and open on the high E. Then you've got D, which gives you 2 on the G and 2 on the high E. Then you've got E major, which gives you 4 on the G and 4 on the high E. Then you've got F sharp minor, which gives you 6 and 5, 6 on the G, 5 on the high E. And then you've got G sharp diminished. God, it's always such a hard chord to play there. And that gives you 7 on the G and 7 on the high E. So those are all these sixth intervals that appear on the fretboard in the key of A major. A good thing to do is obviously try and do it in every single key, and that will really improve the fretboard knowledge. You can use those to create solos. When would you use them? So I'd particularly use them when they are chord tones of a particular chord. So for example, our D major chord, we could use those sixths that are extracted from that D major chord. And if we're moving to E, we could use those sixths that are extracted from the E major chord as well. So you could use them as chord tones. They're also really good to use as runs, to lead down to chord tones. Like that. They just add a little bit extra to your solos by being double stops that are not just your standard thirds that are most commonly used, thirds and fourths. Sixths give a really unique sound. Let's take a look at the licks that I've written using sixths, and let's break them down a little bit. The chord progression we're playing over is a very basic Fisher-Price, my first chord progression, 1-4-5 in A major, D major, E major, playing an A major 7, a D major 9, and then just an E7. Very simple. Now, over the A major, I'm playing 11 on the D and 10 on the B string. It's actually extracted from an F sharp minor chord, but these two notes are chord tones of my A major chord. They are C sharp, which is the third, and A, which is of course the root. And then we move up, we play the 12th fret of the D and B strings, and then the 14th fret of the D and B strings, which are also chord tones of our A major chord. But at this point, we're playing the D chord, and these become chord tones of our D major chord. So this 14th fret of the B string is the 7th, and the 14th fret of the D string is the 9th. And we are playing a D major 9, so it is a chord tone. And then we just do these three little notes. So that's the 9th fret of the G string, 10th fret of the B string, and 9th fret of the B string as well. And I do a little bend up to the 10th and back down again. Yeah. Then we do those first three notes again, 11, 10, 11 on the D, B and D strings. And then I do a little run. So what we're doing is we're running from 11 and 10 on the B, D and B, to 9 and 9 on the D and B, then 7 and 7 on the D and B. This 7 and 7 we're going to hold and slide down to 2 and 2 of the D and B. And that second fret of the B string, we're going to hammer on from an open. And these two notes we play once we're back on the A major chord. And of course, these two notes are extracted from the A major chord, so they sound really nice on top of the A chord. Very nice lick there. Now the second lick, let's have a listen to that. So we're starting on the 21st fret of the high E string. We're sliding up to that from the 19th, then playing the 19th fret. Then we're playing this double stop, which are sixths on the 18th fret of the G string and the 17th fret of the high E string. Now these notes are within the A major chord. That top note is our A, and that 18th fret of the G string is our C sharp, which is the 3rd. And then I just hammer onto the 19th fret there just to add a little bit of tension to the solo. Then we're playing these 6. So we're playing 16 and 16 on the G and E strings. We're sliding up there from the 14th though. Then we're coming back down to the 14th and 14th. Then we're playing 13 and 12. Then we're going to play 13 on its own, then 12 on its own, then 13 on its own. Then we're going to run down the A major scale, which is 14, 12, 10 on the high E, 14, 12, 10 on the B. We're going to hold that B and then place our middle finger on the 11th fret of the D string whilst this note is ringing out on the B string, and that creates a 6th interval. And we play that again once we land on our A major. That is the 10th fret of the B string is our A, and then the 11th fret of the D string is our C sharp, which is the 3rd. So these are chord tones of our A major chord. So that's the 2nd lick. Now let's take a listen to the 3rd lick. So this 3rd lick is quite a simple lick. We're playing. And all I'm doing with this one is taking our bar chords and extracting the 6th intervals from them. So over our A major, I'm playing the A on the 5th fret of the low E string first, but then I play the 6th interval, which is the 7th fret of the A and the 6th fret of the G string. Then when it gets to the D chord, I'm going to be playing 12 on the A string and 11 on the G string. That's extracted from a D major chord. And then I play 11 on the D string and 10 on the B string, which is another 6th interval. And it's extracted from a D major 7 chord here, so like that. Then over the E chord, I do the same thing I did with the A. I play the root note, 7th fret of the low E string. Then I play the 6th interval, 9th of the D and B strings. Then I play 13 on the G string and 12 on the high E string. Now this is the root note and the 3rd of our E major chord. And then I hold these while I do the next 2 notes, which are another 6th interval over our A major chord, 14 of the D string and 14 of the B string. So I'm playing those last 2 when we hit the A major chord again. And all 4 notes make an A major 7 chord. So that's quite tasty there. So there you have it. There's the 3 licks with 6ths. I hope you've learned a lot about how to play 6ths around the fretboard. And if you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, click like, let me know what you thought in the comments. Please put video suggestions in the comments. I'm looking for more videos to do, so your ideas are really handy. And subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that every single time I release a new video, you're notified. And also go to the description, check out the first 2 chapters of my book, Chord Charisma. In those first 2 chapters, you'll learn how to write a really solid chord progression with the 7 diatonic chords in your key. You'll learn which order to put what chords in based on the functions that each chord serves. And then I show you shapes such as 7ths, 9ths, 11ths and 13ths that you can do to those chords to make them sound spicier and more jazzy. So if that sounds interesting, go to the description and check it out. And I will see you in the next video.